Hello and welcome. My name's Noxman, and it's Sunday. It's a bank holiday weekend in the UK, but wherever you are, I hope you're having a lovely day off and getting some time to relax. I'm going to be having a look at a game from my deep childhood that is 1996 and getting from my dad the game The Neverhood when I was a tiny child. For those not in the know, the Neverhood is a claymation point and click puzzle game. So everything in the game is claymation, except for some tiny little animated like levers and stuff like that here and there. Um, yeah, and so the story was that my dad had gotten back from a business trip, and he had brought a video game for me, and I have two siblings to play. And he'd sort of looked at the box, and it was this nice box, green, with the character in the middle, all clay models. So, and he sort of looked at it and seen that it was like a puzzle game. Thought, brilliant, perfect. Brings that home, and it was only when he got home that we noticed that the game actually had an age rating, or should I say, a recommended age rating of 18 plus because of the supposed difficulty of the puzzles. I was 6 at the time. So, for much of my life, all I really saw of the game was the sort of starting areas where you just sort of walk around. It wasn't until I was an older teenager or sort of a young teenager using walkthroughs that we were finally able to complete it. So, and it's been what, like 20 years since then now. So I haven't played this in probably like, close to 20 years at this stage. So this is going to be a bit of a nostalgia trip as well. Let's jump right in. Okay, that was quite a trip. That's the opening. It just ditches you right into the game. Here we are. This is it. This is our character Claymen, just sleeping on the floor. I'll leave it up to the scholars to figure out the pun with the name. And so this is the whole game. You can, well, this room isn't the entire game, but this is your view. And that's it. It's fully point and click. There's probably various things, especially earlier in the game, that I'll probably sort of just remember on instinct because I played this kind of area so often. I love for some reason, especially because of things like Warhammer, this kind of like bright green is just so reminiscent of like 90s stuff, at least in video games. Yeah, I wonder how we open this door. There's no tutorial or anything, it's just a fully point and click game. There we go. What does this button do? It's so silly. Okay. Down the ladder. This would always freak me out. I have like to be honest, I personally think quite reasonable phobia of like unending voids. And you'd come down here and look, it's just like, there's no music, it's just quiet. And it's just a black void. Awful. Dear Claymen, please feed my pet flytrap. He eats ring food. I do not. Love, Willy. And into the bin. Any more mail? How is it getting delivered? Claymeb, you may have already won 2 bricks of clay, Willy. Oh, there's still more. Claymen, how do you spell Hoborg? Willy. I have to keep saying, Clay. Oops, sorry. Bumped the microphone there. Send this letter to 3 friends or you will fall ill. Willy Dewan. Yeah, for those of us who grew up with almost entirely with email, dear Clayman, you read too much. Those of us who grew up entirely with email might remember email forwards, where it's like, forward this to 10 people or you will die. That was the thing with letters as well. Yeah, humans never change. Clay friend, you read too darn much, Willy. Yeah. I think there's a good few jokes in this game that are just, how long can you do it? Dear Clay, at first this was fun, but now you're being a baby. Okay. It can choose to end any time. Hello, still no mail from Willy. So I don't respond to them, I just throw them in the trash. Greetings again. If you throw this away, I'll think less of you. Yep. And so this, apparently this is just the whole game. We're just here. K, hi chum. My head has a hole in it. W, a hole. With a W. That's funny. I've never, I don't think I ever went this far, even as a kid. Dear Clayman, hang me from a tree by my hoop so I can play Absalom. I don't really get what that means. Clay map. You may have already won 2 bricks of clay, Willy. Oh, okay. Are they starting to repeat now? Let's find out. Okay. They're starting to repeat now. Alright. Defeated. We retreat back to the literal starting room. Oh yes. So now I am aware from the past that there are various points in the game where you literally need to know something that was shown to you earlier. So I'm ready to write and draw things, so we can't forget. Okay, one more. It's a bit difficult to tell exactly where we. It's probably not that specific. We'll be fine. Oh my god. Not that one then. I mean, it's probably the one that's hanging lower, isn't it? There we go. Okay. Some of these earlier puzzles I might remember reasonably well without any excitement of figuring it out, I'm afraid. I'm just sort of passively absorbing the insane amount of nostalgia I'm going through right now. Hey. Here we go. So some of the sections are this, like a sort of a first-person camera. It's always so creepy because the doorways would be like dark. Look, we turn around and look, there's a doorway. We can go back in and it's just black. And there wouldn't be the music. It would just suddenly cut off. Okay. Got a Triceratops fountain? Cave. Back the way we come. We seem to walk quite far in just a few steps. The door there. Nothing. I can't walk forwards there. I'm going to check out the fountain. Forwards. Oh. Can we not look at the fountain? I can't remember. Oh. Okay. Step on this button. Nothing. Press this button. Oh, okay. Yes, yes. Oh. Oh. When I press on these ones. Okay. Back. Alright, let's go this way then. Got a cassette looking thing on the floor. Yeah, his storage is just, he's made of clay. He's got a box in his belly. Press this button. Oh. The door's shut and the button opens it again? Okay. When I was a kid, I would have to get my mum to come and do this puzzle for me. It's one of these ones. Okay, I'm going to actually think about it, otherwise I'm going to get lost immediately. Let's see... I need to get that one into the middle. I know I'm not going to be able to keep it in the middle for right now, but it makes a start, doesn't it? We've got the H here. Yeah, sorry. I know that it's an H. You might be able to tell that it's an H just from the shapes. Shimmy this over here. It's sort of color-coded as well. I'm already annoyed. We've got sort of... okay, yeah, we need this grey one over. But then we actually want... this. We need this one in the bottom corner. I'm just running on, just kind of doing it by instinct right now. Oh, that works. Okay, that's a start. We're probably gonna have to totally mess up the entire thing just to get the things we want into position. Which is I'm gonna get annoyed. Yeah. Oh no, that one needs to go there. I don't want to mess up the right side of the H. Okay. Oh. Hey, that wasn't so bad. Ooh. There we go. Oh. Set thingy. TV. Or, well. Oh, there we go. The noises. Oh my god, the noises are so familiar. It's ridiculous. Also, if in case you didn't know, the music in this game is amazing. I should probably just let it play sometimes so we can listen.
Hello.
Hello.
Me Willie. Me Willie trombone. These discs tell a story. Story about good. Story about bad.
Bad.
These discs are all that are left of the true story. True story of the closing of the third age. Willie know that once you know this truth, then you know what to do. Listen, I tell you.
Yeah, going on for the next ones. Guess we're collecting cassettes. So much of the stuff is like almost like a adventure game logic, but at least it makes sense in this where everything's, you know, where everything's just made of clay. Looks like a spaceship. Huh. Cannon? Is he sleeping in this one? Is that the world? It look, you know, it's funny. That looks kind of like it's like the Outer Wilds. If you've played that game, the little planets with like stuff sticking off of them. Huh. That's funny. Huh. I'd never paid attention to this whatsoever. This kind of looks like the cassette player we were just looking at. Big mustache. He's here worshipping something. Yeah, settle down, Claymen. I'm just looking at the mural. Can we interact with it at all? No. This chap's got a staff with a big N on it. This thing looks like something out of Starship Troopers. Alright. I'm gonna keep going. Oh, that walking noise is like loud. The never. What is that? Oh, I think it's a glass. What's this? This is scary. Like, just walk through these spikes. What if they pop back out? Hmm. Oh. Cool. Ah. Quite a few we got to collect. Lever and a button. God, yeah, you just have to press everything, but I'm paranoid. Ooh. Okay. Oh. Okay. What about this lever? Can I not press on this? Ah. Oh. Oh my god. Okay. Right. Use a gun to shoot a robot. A nice hum. Hideous noise. Up we go. Now, I have a remembrance / suspicion, so I'm just going to come back here. Just about everything is important. Let's switch the light off. Back down. Ah, symbols. But what about the button? Can I not press it? I can't see shit. Do I need to pixel hunt here? I don't remember where the button was. Pressing... No. Guess you can't press the button in the dark. But we've got some glowing symbols here. And everything is important. So I have prepared ahead of time because I'm not going to remember these at all. So I've prepared ahead of time with our drawing board, where we are going to make sure we don't forget anything. So for this one, I'm going to start in the top corner because I'm definitely going to end up filling the whole place up. In the H place, which I know is like hall. And we've got 3 symbols. One of them was, what was it, like dash, 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 something like that. Oh, gods, we need to go back over to the game. Oh, I've done the dashes the wrong way round. I can't see my damn cursor. Okay, dashes like so. Let's go back over to the game. Okay, sorry about that. Just some technical difficulties. We've got one of these symbols. I can't make much sense of that, to be honest. I'm just going to try to faithfully recreate it. Here we go. So it's like sort of a blob, something like this. And then sort of like a couple of things like this with a lot of interference in between. Something like that. This one's a bit more angular. Yeah. Right, and our last symbol is a triangle and a line. Here we go. Noises in the background. What is it like? God, not like that. It was like this with a line. That'll do. I'm calling it. That'll do. Right. Back up we go. Okay, I'm going to turn the lights back on. Yeah, so there's lots of moments in the game where it will just like show you some symbols or something, and you just need to remember them for later. Sometimes much later, as far as I can remember. Right, let's have a look here. The Neverhood Chronicles Preamble. I am Quater. Read my words and be my friend. Father commands me to record the truth of history, so that readers will learn from those who went before. Therefore, I give each of my 7 sons one of these self-engraving history recordings. One of these self-engraving history recording clay walls. Okay. Was that the whole? Oh God, each one can be read. Behold, anyone who tampers with the records on these walls will be considered the enemy of Father. I will not like you much either. This wall is given by Father. It will teach you to acquire wisdom. Okay. In each of our lives, we must make decisions. When these times come, be ready to make the right choices. Continue in what you know. Continue in what you know is true, though the truth is often hard to see. These walls may hold the only truths you will know. Quater. Okay. Ooh. This is a really cool like image here. I get it's kind of like a, you know, it looks kind of like creation myth stuff. Right. Let's see what they have to say over here. Looks like it says Father. Oh, it started lower down. Father. Father is a kind being whom no one has ever seen. Oh. Father is beyond all our comprehension. All folks know that he was here before there was ever a here. He is happy and enjoys existing. Okay. He is said to be great and powerful, and as far as anyone knows, was no one before him. He is from the other side. No one has ever been to the other side, but it is supposed to be a great place where there is peace without death. How very convenient. Up we go. Quater. Quater is the only being Father has ever made. He has been a good friend of Father's for many eons, even though he's never seen him. Quater is the official go-between for all beings and Father. Since he himself is a being made by Father, not much can be learned about Father by looking at Quater. But if anything is known to anyone about Father, Quater revealed it. Okay, yeah. Slightly convenient, you know, everything you know about the Father, you know, don't worry, Quater made, like, I'm Quater, Father made me, trust me, you know, just trust me. Don't worry about it. It's definitely true. But you can't see Father, no one else has ever gotten to see him. Quater forged 7 crowns for 7 beings he created for Father to pour his approval on. Quater left the comfort of Father's presence to pioneer a new world where his beings could make their own place in order to empathize with Quater. Slightly interesting. Oh my. Oh my. That's a lot. Ogdilla. Quater made Ogdilla as a kind of test subject. Oh, bummer for Ogdilla. He gave Ogdilla a crown, although he did not have a head to set the crown on. Ogdilla is a mass of blue gas that is barely self-aware. It is said that Ogdilla is the spirit of adventure since the day he was made. He left Quater's homeland, since on the day he was made, beg pardon, he left Quater's homeland traveling in a straight line without stopping. He has picked up many particles from space, which have made a happy home for themselves on Ogdilla's back, even though Ogdilla doesn't have a back because they're just gas. Ogdilla is now 1 million times the size he was when Quater made him, and his inhabitants include the specks of Rulanati. Okay. There's so much here. How many... Okay. I know for a fact that this place goes on for forever. I don't know if I can read all of this. We're still just in the specs at the moment. This is like an entire creation myth. There's a giant. Still of the specs. Okay, let's have a look at the next. Good grief. It's still Ogdilla, and we're still at the specs. I am defeated very quickly. I can't. We're still at the specs. And I know, I remember, this place goes on for ages. I think, you know, this is just, you can't read all of this. It's like ludicrous biblical prose. Let's see. Yeah. It's talking about salads and food for specs now. Okay. We're at the end of the... What, divorce? What is happening here? what, it's going through literal rules of marriage and everything. Okay. And it looks like... So this must be Ogdilla. Look, it's just like a formless mass with a crown on it. Next. Bert. Does that say Bert? Bert. Quater made this next being with the form closer to his own. He attempted to duplicate himself, but because he was not as good of a man builder as father, the being was not quite a perfect duplicate. Bert was given powers of speech and reason, but he could not grasp that he was different from Quater. He thought he was Quater and instantly made 7 of his own crowns and started making his own people in his own image. It's getting complicated already. Because Bert was an even worse being maker than Quater, each generation looked worse and worse. By the last generation, Bert's beings were not even alive. They just looked like blobs of meat. Ooh. Okay. What have we got at the end here about Bert? One morning, Pickback went to great lengths to hide. Oh gosh. So again, this is going to be long, droning biblical prose about God knows what. Let's see here. Good grief. I'm gonna keep checking random places. Foie Stampede. The pods were all that were left of their brother. They mourned for 88 years. Okay. Onwards. It's, you want the lore, but this isn't lore. This is like insanity. Emperor woke up one morning with bedhead capitalized, and his spirit was troubled. Okay, let's keep going. This is some kind of whole story that followed on from Bert's horrid creations of blobs. Oh, it keeps on going. And I remember from childhood, this place keeps on going and going. Okay, we've got Bert here. Oh, a bit mean about Bert saying he was like... It's implying he was like ill-conceived. Okay, he was a little bit funky, but you know, he's his own guy. What do we got at the end? Was not alive, so it could not begat anything. It's like a tragedy. Numeron. Quater decided to make a being of greater substance than any of his previous creations. Numeron looks like a pile of cubes. Huh. He was obsessed with being sensible and correct in everything, following the rules to the letter. Numeron rarely did anything on his own without asking Quater for his explicit directions. Numeron loved his crown and wore it with much pride, perhaps a little too much pride. He made 300 duplicates of himself, whom he would boss around all day, every day. Goodness. Okay, and then we've got the endless like, what's it called? You know, fact, is it called like etymology, or is that words? The endless, listings of families. I can't believe this is all on here. It goes on forever, Jesus. Okay. Let's skip to the end of Numeron. And how many were there? Is there 8 crowns? Did it say? This is only crown 3. Ah. Ottoborg. I want to see the end of Numeron just to see how bonkers this is. They lived happily for many ages. Grace died one beautiful day. Numby died 3 days later. Ah. And there's no image of Numeron. Huh. Ottoborg. Quater made a king named Ottoborg, designed to be happy and full of joy all day. Robots were a subject that Ottoborg had done a lot of research on. So it's so bizarre. Like, it's like a creation myth where there's nothing in existence, but Ottoborg has done robotics research. Okie day. So it was only natural that he made 3 robots to help him make 7 little houses. The robots' names were Appy, Togor, and Bill. Appy was good at digging, Bill was good at building, and Togor was good at painting. That is why it is said today that if anyone is a good painter, he is Togor. Anyone, he. A little bit exclusionary there, but whatever. In a very careless way, Ottoborg made 7 boys to go live in his new houses. The boys' names were Hypen, Nupen, Petri Alfonso, Willie Trombone. Huh. Wait, so Willie is like practically one of the OG denizens of like the universe. Because it's Willie, right? Unless it's a different Willie. Deradius Hapsicum, whose nickname is Creeper, Hondo, and Ed. Okay, and presumably this is just going to the same thing. It's going to be a whole bunch of gumph. If that's the Willy we know, it could be interesting. Oh, Willy's yellow supple flesh. Ugh. Willy was a fool above all other fools, and all the time that they spent trying to trick him only gave the drifting giant big robot Bill enough time to arrive. Yeah, it's kind of like, stories about happenings, but it's, like I said, biblical prose. Gonna keep going. I'm getting tired of, reading these and everything. Here we go. Ottoborg. Huh. For some reason, the name just made me think of the number 8, probably because of, like, Oct. But he's got, like, 6 spikes on him. It's a slightly sinister-looking jolly fellow with, spikes on his chest. Whatever. Homan. Quater made Homan and gave him 2 crowns and let him decide what to do with the extra one. Homan had a son named Pinto Bunyan, to whom he immediately gave his 2nd crown. Pinto Bunyan helped Homan with all that he did. Oh, Quater gave 2 crowns to Homan. So we had 4... So 6... Was that 6 of the crowns are accounted for now, or 5? I think 6. Homan made a bunch of beings called Ints. The Ints were blue and looked like little bugs. The blue Ints spent their first day of existence fashioning small spears. Oh, this isn't up to a good start. Soon the Ints had broken up into small communities. Each community had a specific task to accomplish which helped all the other Int communities. Blue Int South was in charge of growing food. Blue Int North built housing for other communities, and so on and so forth. Let's have a quick scroll. Yep. Lots. Oh, good grief. Yeah, let's keep going. It's the story of the Ints. Not the Ents, the Ints. It seems like the kind of like almost like crowning deities are not that involved in the subsequent things. Quater stepped in and took Pinto Bunyan's crown away and gave it to a new being he made called Arven. Oh, okay. So that we've got... Can't even remember the name already now. This chap. Distinguished fellow Hoborg. Haven't we had Hoborg already? Am I getting confused? Quater wanted to see what would happen if he made a creative being with a big heart. Quater named him Hoborg, meaning big heart. Hoborg was given a crown, and he set out into a void of clouds as Quater watched him from a distance. Hoborg liked the idea of making a place for some beings of his own. He knew that the clouds that swirled around him would make a perfect sky, so he just needed to make some land. One thing that concerned Hoborg was that perhaps some of his beings would come out bad. He wanted to make beings which he could enjoy forever, but he did not want to force them to love and respect him. Sounds quite noble. He decided that he would make his beings with the ability to choose right and wrong. Working everything out in his head, he figured he could make one child at a time and see if he turned out good. He seems needlessly gendered. Turned out good before he started on to the next. Hoborg made a tiny scale model of his world in clay, or clay with the C. It's okay. You know, it's making it obvious. To see if it looked the way he had imagined it, he spent about 20 years designing the shapes and colors of this place, which he would call the Overhood. He needed some clay to make his world, and the only place where clay could be found was that of the purity and quality Hoborg. The only place where clay could be found that was of the purity and quality Hoborg wanted would take 400 years to reach. He was so anxious to get started that he asked for help from Quater. Quater, thank you for making me with such a fine crown. Everything in life is just wonderful, but I was wondering... Hoborg got down on one knee. Can you help me get to the clay of highest quality? Quater laughed. That would take even me a long time to reach. What's wrong with the clay that I have already given you? Hoborg answered. So clay seems to be the stuff of creation. Makes sense, given the world we're in. I like the clay you gave me for planning things, but I was hoping for the best ingredients for my beings. You see, I want them to last forever, and clay only lasts for a few thousand years. I'm getting sucked into this one. Quater was impressed. Here is a scope that will help you see as far as you need to. You will be able to pick the shortest path to the clay, which should save you quite a few years of travel. It implies there's almost like a world to travel through, but I thought they were just in the void. Hoborg received the scope. Oh, thank you, Quater. You are very generous. Okay. Presumably a lot of this is going to be the accounting of Hoborg's journey, so let's skip ahead. Is this the end here, or is it just a paragraph? Let's see. After many years' journey, Hoborg returned and was ready to build the Everhood, a neighborhood that would last forever, so long as nothing went wrong. Oh. Here we have this crowned chap, presumably Hoborg, giving a teddy bear to a robot. Okay. Okay, Arven. This is going on for a long time. Arven is a sleek and fast being who created thousands of beings from the first moment he was given a crown. Besides his crown, there is an aerodynamic fin off the back of his head because he is so fast. Stands to reason. His style of creating is fast. Get in, create, get out. He does not keep account of the worlds he creates, nor the beings he creates to inhabit them. Quater made Arven quite quiet, serious, lean, and efficient. Arven has spoken only once to some of the beings he has created. Quater wanted to make a being who would fill up the rest of creation with more worlds and planets and beings. Arven does not even take the time to create beings who will be creators themselves. Arven now has 7 worlds that his beings inhabit. What's that? Nordo. Okay, yeah, it's a world. It's going to tell us all about the different worlds Arven created. So let's be on our way. Ooh, from what I remember from my childhood, this place goes on for a long time, even if you just click through every single screen without skipping, skipping absolutely everything. So we could be stuck here for a little while. Oh! And there he is, Arvin, with a fin on the back of his head. How does the story end, though? Yeah, I've seen the cassette, don't worry. Tingly Spald, the doorway was built by a giant turtle. Roy Owl, only 3,667 abbas are allowed through the door. Okay, it sounds like all of that was complete bonkers. But at last we have reached a cassette. And a window. Oh, righto. Okie doke. Can't make much sense of that. Look again. Still nothing. Glowing green. Some kind of building, maybe. And tentacly spikes. Okie dokie. Off we go. And yes, there is no shortcut. Onwards we go. I'm not going to cut here. You have to sit through it with me just the same. That was only Arvin. Yep. Robot, presumably Hobog. Off we go, off we go, off we go. Walking down the hallway. Brain is tired just from reading just the beginning of each of these stories. I wonder if anyone's marathon read the whole nonsense pile of this stuff. Personally, I just don't have the patience. Okay, we've made it back to Ottoberg? Otto Borg. I don't remember who became before Otto Borg. Hopefully nothing incredibly essential to the entire game was hidden, just buried in the text. But that would be unbelievable cruelty. Numeron, who we never saw, and our misbegotten friend with, instead of one of his hands, he's just got a flap. I don't remember their name, though. Nearly there, I'm sure. Are we there yet? Just 20 more miles. But. Okay, I think the formless mass was the first one. We were almost there. When you were 6, this felt like 1,000,000,000,000 years. It's kind of like not that bad actually now. It's still kind of hilariously long. Oh my god. And you need that cassette. You need that cassette. Dealer, father and Quater. So, yeah. No, I'm continuing. So in this one, which looks like a spaceship, that's, we think, Hoborg. Maybe the N stands for Neverhood. Okay. Let's keep going. echoing step as well is like crashing through my brain. Let's see what the cassette says. Oh yeah, it found 2. Oh, we skipped one. I'm gonna watch it from the start just so we can recap a little bit.
Hello. Me Willie. Me Willie trombone. These discs tell a story. Story about good. Story about bad.
Bird.
These discs are all that are left of the true story. True story of the closing of the third age. Willie know that once you know this truth, then you know what to do.
Okay.
Listen, I tell you.
Oh. Okay.
He had to. He make a world full of beauty and wonder. This world, the Neverhood, a world where he could live forever and evermore. Hoborg thought this world would make him happy, but it make him sad. Walking around his big, beautiful new world make him feel all alone.
That's all we got. Right. Okay. We survived the haul. And I think that's a good time for a little break. Check out this menu screen. Love that. Right. See you in the next one.